Hey, welcome to the video newsletter. So here's the thing. Brene Brown said, and I laughed because she's right, and I agree. She said we're really bad at being human at work. Humanity is important, especially as AI continues to grow and it's changing everything, but we're really bad at being human. And she's right, because we engineered it out of the modern workplace. So it's not that they don't matter, those skills. My company is keeping it human. So I'm banking on the future being human. And yes, we need those skills, but she's right, because we have made it difficult. She goes on to say that Jack Welch, who famously ran GE and who so many CEOs modeled themselves after because he was super profitable and he led so much of the business literature down the road of efficiency. But what happened was, in search of profits and efficiency, we kind of scaled back on empathy and humor and levity and being vulnerable and all the things that make us human. So now she posits, Brene Brown, that, she blames the Jack Welch effect. Now, I don't think, and here's the thing, I don't think she's saying that Jack Welch got up there and said, no more being human at work. He didn't say in those words. The challenge is that when you put so much pressure on efficiency, you squeeze out the human element. And so he started this thing that basically was he'd rank everybody. It was the rank and yank method, and it became super famous. When I was in business school, we studied it. It's bad, but companies do this all the time. Even when there wasn't a financial crisis, the 10% rank and yank. It means you'd rank all the employees and you would kill, and that word, you would literally just fire the bottom 10%. So what happens is people are so then attuned to performing and getting it right that they leave the human stuff that we need, that's so important, behind. And that's the problem. And I think she's right. We have left all that stuff by the wayside. And what I think, and I would agree with her, that is the future. And that's, again, where I have focused. And part of that is our humanity, our adaptive capacity, our laughter, our levity, all those things that really are going to get us to that next level, because AI will do the things that we don't do well. But that frees us up to be the directors of AI. And that means we need more humanity. And everyone's talking about it, but we just haven't done a good job of celebrating it and elevating it. And that's why. So, you know the drill. These things are important. They've always mattered. And there is hope, and we can relearn, because at the end of the day, humans are learning animals and organizations are learning entities. So, we can do it. But it's going to take us really making workplaces safe for that kind of thing. So here's just really simple. I hope you enjoyed the newsletter this week. As always, I want to know about it. Give me your stories. Just try two things. I don't want to overcomplicate it. One, reframe with humor. When you make a mistake, when something doesn't work, reframe. Because the emphasis is on the learning. And if we are making mistakes and blaming and shaming employees, right, that rank and yank, people are gonna stop trying. So next time something doesn't work, what's the right way to reframe it? Maybe your ideas aren't used in a meeting. And it's like, okay, cool. I like chaos. Get the chaos strategy. Great. Let's talk about that. Laugh into it, lean into it. I promise you what it does is it makes it safe to come up with crazy ideas. Second thing is, let's make sure that we allow for different ideas. How are we going to allow human conversations even when it's hard? Maybe we could have more sessions that are just pure brainstorming and wild ideas. And the next time somebody gives a wild idea in a meeting, what are we going to do to like yes and it and be like, hey, yeah, I like that. Where's that going to go? Ooh, how might we try that? Instead of shutting it down and saying no, yes and tell me about that. What's one part of that idea that we can do? Look for the yes and. Forget about the no. Look for the yes and. Lean into a hard conversation. Find something to laugh at, even in a hard conversation. And here's what I mean. I'm not saying you're laughing at the pain. You're not making light of the serious. You're making meaning. You're saying, this won't define us and we'll get past it. And it's awkward for me too. If it's awkward for you, It's awkward for me. I always like to say, so there's nothing awkward about this conversation. Good thing it's not awkward. And everybody knows awkward. They feel it. If you feel it, chances are, if you're in a tough conversation, the other person or parties feel it too. So try bringing a little levity to the things that are hard, and challenge yourself to not say no so easily. How might you say yes and to that wild idea? So that's really it. Let me know your stories, where you're adding more human stuff. I agree we need it. But the only way we do that is if we start to reclaim that stuff. So, how are you and your teams, as a coworker, a colleague, maybe a team leader, going to be adding that stuff? Make it fun. Give people permission. It's okay, but you got to show up and model it.